The Neutral.
Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of The Neutral. I know we've been on a bit of a hiatus, but the world's a little bit crazy, so I took a week off. Sorry about that. But I'm pretty excited for this week's guest. I love interviewing her. I got to interview her when she went to Canada Cup. I got to work with her as part of EXO Academy. You know her from her antics on Twitter, her sick upsets. It's UYU's Mahreen. How's it going?
Hi, how's it going, everyone? I'm UYU Marine, and I'm so glad to be here. Thank you so much for having me, Amanda.
No problem. So the biggest complaint I had personally of myself from season 1 of The Neutral was that I didn't have enough female guests on. And so far, I think I've had more women on the show this season than guys, which is super important to me. I guess quality of guests is important, but representation is super important as well. How's life in the quarantine zone?
Yeah, thank you so much for asking. Honestly, I hope I don't sound mean when I say this, but it just feels like the same because I'm just so used to, the thing is I'm just so used to staying home, playing video games, watching movies, reading manga, and then it's actually very serious out here, and I really do hope that it clears up because honestly, I do miss hanging out with friends, and especially tournaments being canceled here and there. It really does break my heart saying that, but it's honestly the best option for those tournament organizers to cancel those tournaments because we want to keep everyone safe. We don't want to get anyone sick. But honestly, I do hope to see everyone soon. But like I said, keep up those friendly, hygienic habits. Here we go.
Yeah, so that's the thing for me too, right? I've worked from home for the last 10 years. So on the surface level, my day-to-day hasn't really changed. I wake up, sometimes I put clothes on, I sit at my desk, I make content, or I help, consult or whatever, and then I play some video games. So the day-to-day isn't really that different, but it's everything that's going on around me that's super different. Or the fact that some of us were planning on going up to Combo Breaker in a couple in a month, right? Or I'm not, I made an announcement on Twitter that I'm not going to events this year at all. Even if lockdown comes off, right, and Evo doesn't get canceled or East Coast Throwdown doesn't get canceled, something like that, just talking to my doctor as an immunocompromised person, he just made the suggestion that maybe I should wait until a vaccine. So I'm not doing events for the rest of this year. So it's weird because you said, day to day, most of us gamers, our lives haven't drastically changed, right? But it's all the first world problem things, right, that are super different for us.
Right, exactly. I know most of my family, of course, they do all these family get-togethers. Where you have barbecue outside. You have all the moms and aunties gambling upstairs. I'm serious. It's an Asian thing.
Your family get-togethers are more legit than mine. It's just there's no gambling at my family get-together that I've ever known about. Maybe when I was a kid, there was low-key cards happening or dominoes, but I didn't know about it.
Yo, Asian families go hard. They're just having a great time.
Do you gamble?
No, I've never gambled in my entire life, and I don't want to because I don't trust myself. Even if I get paid, I'm I don't trust myself with this paycheck, It really be like that.
Oh man, you've gone to Vegas though, so you're telling me every time that you've been in Vegas, you haven't hit the slot machine once.
No.
Hard no? Wow! Not even in the airport?
No, not for me. Nope.
Are you just afraid that you'll put your $20 bill in and then either you'll win or lose and then you'll just put another 20 in and then it'll just be you're secretly low key just a degenerate gambler?
No, well here's the thing though, I can use that $20 to buy myself food. of using it. I would rather buy myself food.
But what if that $20 became $40?
That'd be great. That's awesome. More food for me. But I would rather have the opportunity to buy food. It's like right on the spot. Like.
All right, that's fair. That's fair. So, like, as since we're talking about food, which is like way more important than fighting games or COVID, what is your?
I love anything.
Where is your favorite food spot when you're like at Evo? Have you like explored all the different type of food spots?
Honestly, I feel like I'm gonna get a lot of slack for this, but I really like the K barbecue in Las Vegas. But here's the thing, though.
Which one?
In Minnesota, oh.
You gotta pick one.
Places. I don't know, like the all you can eat. I eat so freaking much. So
I'm assuming Minnesota doesn't have KBBQ.
Yeah. So here's the thing, though. We do have Korean barbecue, but they don't have the all you can eat option. Nor that I think the quality here is kind of decent, but it's not as good as Vegas Korean barbecue. There are some really cool choices that they have here in Minnesota, but I would say it's not as like diverse in a way like in Las Vegas, because there's so many food restaurants that you can choose from. Of course, like a lot of tourists come to Las Vegas to gamble, have a great time, and all that stuff. So
go O2 and polls.
Yeah. But, like, I love visiting the West Coast or like anywhere really besides Minnesota, because Minnesota, so.
All right, so like you like visiting places. What is the dopest city fighting games has allowed you to go to?
I would probably say Canada Cup. It was in
Toronto. When we went, it was in Toronto.
Yep, Toronto. I actually had a great time, like hanging out with my FGC buddies and going around downtown, because it was more of like a, I wouldn't say like Chinatown, but it was mostly like Asian restaurant.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was great. I loved it so much because it was my first time trying this one spot. They sold jiggly cheesecake, where you could like
you like shake it? Yeah.
Yeah. It's so cute. Like you could just stack it and then it would just jiggle. I love it. It's so cute.
And the sad thing is this isn't like I've never been to Toronto before. Like I've been to Toronto a lot for different stuff. Like I've gone because I used to be a semi-professional Magic player. I've gone to work Magic events. I've gone for Canada Cup. So it's not like I've never been to Toronto before. And you're just like. You go your first time and you're already introducing me to tech that like I as like a somewhat regular Toronto goer am just like, yeah, no. My fond memory of Canada Cup was Tasty Steve in a giant bubble jacket and a sweater being like it's freezing outside and me being because he saw me in like a hoodie and like a light pair of jeans and he was like, you're not cold? And I'm like, Tasty Steve, it's like 45 degrees outside. And he's like, it's freezing outside. And I'm like, I don't know if 45 is freezing, Steve. Like,
it's warm as hell.
See, like, this is where, like, the Midwest and upstate New York can, like, be friends. Because, like, 45 degrees, I'm like, yo, t-shirt? Maybe, like, a light hoodie? Let's go. Steve is treating it like it's Arctic weather. And I'm like, nah, man, this is casual. This is super casual.
It's like you don't have thick skin like us,
Yeah, it's their fault.
Yeah.
So, what was your very, very first fighting game? Not competitive or anything, just like first time mashing buttons.
What was it? I would probably have to say Injustice.
Ooh, that's like fairly new.
I actually played Injustice. I played Nightwing. I love Nightwing.
Good choice.
Favorite.
So NRS Bonita when? You gonna start?
I feel, dude, I'm like so bad. People do it. They're so good. Like I actually low key love watching like Mortal Kombat tournaments. Back then, where they had Injustice tournaments. I was like, man, they're so good, and like I wanted to get good, and I guess that's where it stemmed for me getting good at Street Fighter.
Oh, so you were like, I can't get good at this game. I gotta find a fighting game I can get good at, and it just happened to be Street Fighter.
Like that.
I mean, that's fair. Like, I feel like all of us, there's like that fighting game we love to be bad at. Mm-hmm. Like, we know we're bad. We know we should never enter a local, a friendly. We should just not let people know that we play. Like, for me, that's me in Street Fighter. Like, I tell people I play Abigail, but then people be like, "Yo, you should play other people," and I'm like,
I'm good.
I won't. Yo, some Soul Calibur, like some Smash maybe, but like,
You should have been like, you said Street Fighter? I meant like Soul Calibur.
Yo, all my friends try to clown me because like they're like, "Don't you cover fighting games for a living? Shouldn't you be good at them?" And I'm like, "Yo, that's not okay." There are people who work in things that aren't great. That'd be like saying like to a sports writer, like, "Yo, you cover basketball, so you can like 1v1 LeBron, right?" That's well, because like people be like, "Oh, do you enter? Do you cat get off the table? 1 second, Kindred." Yeah, she's so happy I'm home all the time. Like, well, I should say it like this. Like, in like my normal day, I don't know about you, but like I'll like go for a walk downtown, or like I'll hit up like like we have a really cool board game cafe, so I'll like hit it up because they have boba tea. So like I'll go that. I'll get some buffalo mac and cheese. But now I don't leave my house, so now my cat's like, "Yo, so that means you can hang out with me all the time." And I'm like, "Kindred, I'm doing a podcast right now," and she's looking at me like, "Yo, can you grab me some food?" And I'm like, "You got a full bowl. Like, why are you?" Yeah,
I feel like that should be the opposite for cats, because they're like, "Ugh, why are you home?" You know. But I guess like, of course, all cats are different. But
do you have a cat?
I feel like cats. No, I wish I had a cat. I don't have a cat.
Do you have any pets?
I used to have hamsters.
Ooh.
But they passed away, unfortunately. But I love them so much. They were like so chunky and cute.
Yeah, no. That so like this isn't to like say anything bad about people who love their hamster or their fish. Like, if I'm gonna get a pet, I need like a pet that like can actually interact.
Yeah, that's understandable.
With me. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm not really into the like visual appeal type pets. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, like lizards, spiders. Like, you can't hang out with your tarantula. Like, what are you? What are you?
I hate spiders. Why are we talking about spiders?
What would I actually do with my tarantula? Like, we can't go on walks. I can't teach it tricks.
Oh my god. Have you taken your cat out for a walk before?
I have.
I actually take cats out.
I have. Oh. She doesn't like it at all. She's the weirdest. So I know that this is like a fighting game show or whatever, but I don't care. So
whatever. It could be a whatever show.
Kindred. So when I got Kindred, I got her like when she was like 3 months old. And so when I moved to Troy, which is not where I was when I first got her, I was like, "Oh man, I've got a backyard and it's got a big ass fence. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna take Kindred outside because now she can like do the whole outside thing because like her mom's a barn cat, so like she's technically like an outdoor cat." And so I'm like, and I had only had her for like 6 months at this point, like 8 months. So it's not like years and years since she's ever seen the outside. So I was like, all right. So I take her downstairs, and she's like, "Ooh, downstairs! Like, I love being on the steps." And then I like take her, and I like put her on the grass, and she makes like the most like ungodly noise I've ever heard her make. She's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "It's grass. Like, you don't you want to?" And she's like, "Don't you do this?" And she like runs back inside the apartment. And I'm like, "No, Kindred, it's okay," because I thought like she was like, "Oh no, mom's gonna be mad at me that like I'm outside." I'm like, "No, like here, grass." And she's like, "What are you doing?" And like runs back inside. I'm like, all right, experiment over. You don't like the.
Probably just doesn't like grass. It's like so weird because upwards like sniffing it, but then she's kind of like prickling around and it will like prickle her face. It's like, "Oh, I don't like this."
Yeah, and she's a small bean. I don't know if you've ever seen pictures of her on Twitter. She's like a very small cat. So like I put her in the tall grass at my new apartment, and she was just like, "No, don't you ever do this." She like scratched me as soon as I put her down. She was like, "You better pick me back up." I'm like, "All right, Kindred, like we can come here. Here's the patio steps." And she's like, "Oh yeah, this is my speed, patio steps." And I'm like, "All right, you are the weirdest You want to be outside, but not in nature. You just want to be on the. Okay, that's. You do you. You're fine, cat.
Like I said, cats are.
Yo, cat. And I grew up a dog person.
I love dogs. Yeah.
I grew up with like a Labrador Retriever. That we. A chocolate lab that we named Godiva because we're so fucking original. I mean, I wanted Oreo, and everybody vetoed me. So.
Oreo's a cute name, too.
Yeah, right? Yeah, but see, then I got my own cat, and I had the perfect opportunity to name a black cat Oreo, but I'm a League of Legends nerd, so I named her after a League of Legends champion, so.
Ginger's a cute name, yeah, I like that.
So.
It's like, I feel like a lot of people would name their cats, like, Rengar or something.
No! Screw that! Because it's cat champion. No. Originality. Wait, do you play League?
I used to play League a long time ago.
A long time ago? Do you not play anymore?
I play sometime here and there, but I don't play I don't play as much as I used to. Like, I played a crap ton of League in Season 2 and Season 3.
Oh, so you're like an old cat. You're like an old head. Well, because I'm thinking, like, I know Sherry plays and Sharpie plays and Romanova plays. Yo, we should get, like, the FGC League of Legends team going together. Because, like, I also know that, like, Sero and Chris G duel all the time. But I don't know if you ever watched Chris G play. He's, like, the saltiest motherfucker I've, like, ever seen play League of Legends. And Sero feeds it. It's like comedy hour for me. I love it.
That's hilarious. Oh my god. I know, like, of course we have our salty moments. Like, for me, I remember I used to be so salty, where I would just, like, slap my keyboard so hard. Or, like, you know, for example, like, the keypad, just, like...
Would you? Wait, are you the same way... Are you the same way in fighting games? Have you ever, like, thrown a controller? I feel like you can't throw a fight stick. Like, that's too crazy.
Yeah. For a fight stick, it's too crazy. Like, anytime I'm, playing on my fight stick, I would just be, like, just like, clicking my buttons, because it shows how stressful or, like, anxious I am. I'm like, man, I should have blocked that DP. But for League, I, like, back then in Season 2, I would literally just, like, fucking punch me.
So I was playing with like nub friends, like friends that don't play. Like I don't play seriously that much anymore, but like I used to be like super into it. And I was playing with like very like low elo friends, and we were losing a game that I was like 22-2, and I'm like, how are we? And I like slammed my keyboard tray, and that was the end of my keyboard tray.
Rest in peace, keyboard.
Like keyboard was fine, mouse was fine, but like I tried to pull my keyboard tray back out and it wouldn't. I like just now I'm nice and calm. I might yell during a game. I know that like one of my former roommates is in chat, so like he can attest to this. I'll yell, but like I don't throw things. As a kid, I threw my controller once playing Zone of Enders though.
Oh my gosh. No, I totally understand. Like it's really hard to contain it because it's hard to like sit there and just get filled with rage. I just want to like punch something or throw my fight stick, but it's like I can't do it because I would throw like $300 down the drain, or you know, it's my my stuff, and I gotta be respectful about it.
What is your saltiest fighting game moment?
My saltiest fighting game moment? I've had a lot of moments that, well, like the thing is that it was more internally salt, you know? And of course you can see it in my face where, like, say I lose to like a P in the game, and I'm just sitting there, of course, like I said, you know, mashing my buttons, and I'm like, oh my god, you know? Yeah. I would think that those would be my internally salty moments. I've never had outbursts where I'm like, fuck, I hate this game. So throw my stick.
So you've never had like an Armada moment where like you just like froze on stage, just like sat there like.
Oh no. Like of course, I always tell people that if you're salty, of course express how salty you are. I don't want people to bottle in their feelings, because it's actually that bad. It's okay to express your feelings, even if you're whoever,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So we do get salty. It's okay to be salty, and just try again another time. That's how I put it. Just be chill.
Just be chill.
Yeah, just be chill.
So, speaking of chill, your Twitter campaigns for the different things that you've entered, whether it be the r/Street Fighter sponsorship or making it into Street Fighter League, you get pretty hyphy. You get pretty creative with your content. Where does that come from?
I would say like my content.
Because you're kind of a goof.
No. I guess like I literally sometimes just sit there and think like, how can I make this interesting? So I guess like one of the videos I did for SFL voting phase, I was like, what if I just do a stupid video that doesn't make any sense?
You like elbow dropped your phone.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're like, oh yeah, I did do that.
I did do that, and I was like, okay, so before I posted it, I was watching it, I was like, this is so stupid. I hate this. I was like, whatever, I'm just probably gonna mute this tweet, so I'll send. And then I guess a lot of people really liked it, which made me really happy because, like you said, I'm very goofy, and I try to think of things where people like it, or of course, what people want to see.
Mm-hmm.
That was fun. I love doing that. I just like doing stupid things and just out,
Well, that's fine. So, like, I mean, like, so I know you stream, but have you thought about doing more content? Like, I know you have like an actual job, and that eats up a lot of your free time. But have you thought about, joining the YouTube grind? Maybe become a TikTok star.
I don't think I could do TikTok. I would break my back if I tried to do those dances. No, I'm kidding.
But like, I would say that sometimes it's fun watching people dance poorly.
Yeah, oh my gosh, there's this like this Japanese middle-aged dad.
Mm-hmm.
He does these like dances and stuff, or he does like nay, or he whips it really good, and I'm like, yo, dude, he's the moves. I'll send it to you. He's so funny. I love him. He's the only reason why I download TikTok, because of his dancing. But yeah, to go back to the question, so I'll be honest, is that I haven't been streaming as much lately, because of course having a real life job has taken much of my time and mental energy as well. And I appreciate all my supporters being there for me, and of course saying, like, you come first, just whenever you're ready, because we actually like being around you. That really warms my heart a lot, because I feel so grateful to have such a great community, and I don't deserve them,
Boo! Don't say that.
No, I'm serious. Like, they're so sweet. Like, shout out to the Poop Squad. They're great.
Wait, what are they called?
They're great people. They're called my community is called the Poop Squad.
There's a reason why I'm not subbed. There's.
They're great people though. Besides the name being like super like degenerate, honestly, they're really great people, and they're super genuine. And I'm just so thankful to have those people in my community, and especially like even if the people that aren't in my community, but they know of me, like, thank you, even to people who don't like me or they hate me, that's fine. I like whatever floats your boat. I just hope that we can play games someday. Sure.
That's valid. So, like, this is the thing that came up when I talked to a lot of people in your situation, which is that there was you, P-Chan, like a bunch of people who did EXO, and you were exploding before EXO, so it's not like just tied to EXO. But I'm gonna make a general assumption, I could be wrong, that like being a fighting game celebrity personality was like not the actual game plan for life. So like, how weird was it for you to like blow up on Twitter? You not only are you a player for UYU, you have your own personal sponsors. Like, how wild has that been for you?
It definitely has been wild, and I will have to say again that I'm extremely grateful for the opportunity, and I'll say this all the time. Like, I don't deserve these sponsors, or that I don't deserve to be in the spotlight, because I feel like there are so many other people that have the skill to show what it takes, that they can, kick ass and all that stuff. Um, I don't know. It's definitely a heartwarming feeling. Honestly, glad to be here. I didn't know that I would get this far. I it first started where I was just playing Street Fighter 4 competitively only in my team. Like, the first stream I went to was Humble Breaker 2015, I believe. But I didn't enter because I was super anxious and I was really shy. And I didn't even play casuals at all, because I didn't want people to see me play, because I was self-conscious about other people thinking of, like, oh, like, who does she play? Oh, like, why does she play a girl character? Oh, like, that wasn't even a max combo. And I'm glad that I don't have that mentality anymore anytime I play, because anyone can play the game. Like, it shouldn't be gender specified or specified. Just play the game. Anyone can play it, Like, my dog, if I had a dog, my dog can play it.
That's fair. I mean, your dog's probably better at Street. Your non-existent dog is probably better than me at Street Fighter. So like.
No.
No, but I mean, like, I get it, because I think that what's super, because the topic comes up all the time about, like, when it comes to, like, women in the FGC, about, like, you can just be someone who plays games, right? You don't have to be good, right? And you don't
have to validate yourself, really. Like,
yeah.
You're just a person. Play the game if you want to. Do you like it? That's great. You can play any other game. People shouldn't judge you for who you are.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing that I try to, like, explain to a lot of friends who are, like, timid about getting into fighting games. It's like, you play League of Legends real bad, so, like, why not play fighting games poorly? And they're like, well, because in League I can get carried. And I'm like, I mean, if you're bad at fighting games, you're only going to get paired up against other people that are bad at fighting games. Right? Like, you're not going to queue up for rank in Tekken and play, like, speed kicks, right? That's not going to happen. It's just interesting to me that so many people, like, they treat fighting games as, like, this, like, pedestal type thing, where it's like, you can unless you're good at it, you can't play it. And it's like, well, then how do you get better? Question mark? Like, how do you...
Right.
Like, if you're bad and you stop playing because you're bad, and only good people should play the game, well, then, like, how do you expect people to get better? Just, like... You can't get better by watching.
Yeah, that, like, you can get better at watching, but it's better to play in person, Like, you get that experience, you get that atmosphere that you're playing someone that's right next to you, compared to online. Like, of course, online's another option, but preferably for me, I love playing offline, because I love, like, interacting with the people I play with, and I'm like, oh man, that was so smart, Like, I'm...
Are you a shit talker?
Oh no, I'm not.
What?
I encourage.
You're.
No, I always encourage my opponents. I'm like, oh, that was so good. Like, oh, that's really smart. Or like, oh, that's my fault. Etc.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I don't know. Like, it also motivates me to play better, because my opponent is playing smarter, or that they're playing better than me. It's like, oh, I want to do that too. So, of course, I have those positive outbursts in my head. I'm like, yeah, you can do it, like, you can do this or do that differently. It's really great. It's a really great feeling, and it was definitely hard, just to be honest with you, where I was filled with negative thoughts. Things that I played, where I was like, man, so stupid, Mahreen. Like, why would you do that? Or, like, you suck at this game. Like, you should just stop playing. It was a really bad time for me. I think that was when I went 0-2 at Frosty Frosting 2018, I believe. It was a really depressive moment for me. cried all day at that tournament. Like I
How
just
did
stayed at my room.
how did you build yourself back up then?
I just kept playing. I myself like that's something that I don't do. Like I don't game. I really really like the game. That I can do better, and I guess that just up to I'm doing a thing.
No, I mean, like that's like a way to handle it. Because like I think a lot of times when we talk about like getting better at fighting games, we don't talk necessarily about our lowest moments, right? Like we're like, oh yeah, like everybody's gone 0-2 once, but like I don't know, when I was, I'll give it a personal anecdote. When like MVCI came out, I was super hyped. So I was like practicing all the time, and then my like our one of our local stores usually does Smash tournaments, but everybody was like, "Oh man, MVCI is gonna be hyped," so they were gonna do monthlies, and I went and I got washed so hard after like working so hard, and I went home and I was like, "Yo, what was I doing?" I like sat on my bed and I was like, "Yo, am I just bad at life?"
Oh,
No, but you like everybody. I think a lot of people have that moment, right? Where like they have their what we like in Magic. We referred. I don't know if it's like what other people call it too, but like in Magic we call it life tilt, where you're like so tilted that you're like you start questioning life. You're like oh man, you know what? Not only did I lose this Magic tournament, but like man, I wasted all that time leading up to the tournament. Maybe I should just like not play Magic. You know what? Maybe I should just sell all my cards. Maybe I'm doo-doo brown at everything, and you just like start. And like sometimes it's like really hard to like get that positive mentality back,
sure.
especially because like these type of things like you put a lot of work into them, right? It's not, even if you're casual about it, there's still like hours spent, right? So when you do poorly at an event, whether it's your local or Frosty Faust things, like you still want to do well. Nobody goes to a tournament like, yo, when I 0-2 though, it's gonna be great. That's gonna be lit.
Mm-hmm.
You might expect not to do well, right? Like you might go to Evo and you're like, oh, my pool is got these people in it. All right, it's 0-2 of a vengeance. But nobody's like lit about it. No one's like, yo, I'm ready to fly out to this event, enter this tournament, and have the fastest 0-2 in the universe. Nobody's like that. Everybody at least wants to go like 1-2.
Right, and the thing is that the people that go 0-2, I personally don't think that's bad.
No.
It's something or like an experience that you can definitely work on. I don't think you've lost anything when you go 0-2. Especially like you're going to an offline major, you go Evo,
Mm-hmm.
and go 0-2 there, like, you're doing a lot more than what you think.
Yeah. So I think it's good that you took that moment and didn't just like, I don't know, despair.
Just keep playing, yeah, because I know that you aren't gonna get any better if you just drop the game like that, and then you think to yourself, I wanna get better at this game, but I quit Street Fighter 5. Tough luck, like you said, you quit the game yourself. If you wanna get better, pick it back up again, keep the grind going.
Yep, that's true. So I have a question for you. So there's it's not looking like there's going to be a lot of goon squatting going on at events anytime soon. Are you still actively playing fighting games? Are you still grinding it out in Street Fighter?
I haven't been grinding it out lately because of all the tournaments being canceled, and that I usually practice before tournaments, and of course my locals are canceled as well, so it's really hard to get that offline practice. To be honest, Street Fighter 5 does mentally burn me out, and I feel like if I played Street Fighter 5 on top of working from home and doing things I have to do, it would definitely bring me the F out. Trust me. As much as I want to play Street Fighter 5, I have to think about my mentality first before I play.
So are there other fighters you're playing, or is it like Animal Crossing time for you?
Definitely Animal Crossing. It's so fun. I love Animal Crossing. I'm so glad that they Horizon. The last time I played New Leaf was probably like 3 years ago because I like got everything in my village. Just stopped right there.
But you on that Animal Crossing hype train right now?
Yeah, yo, I'm trying to sell my turnips. You know your turnip prices, please.
Yo, chat, if you need turnips, like.
Or you got the spicy turnip price because I see a lot of people's mix stores buying turnips for like 639 per set, I think, per turnip. And I'm like, I wish that were me.
So what's funny is that like my only experience with Animal Crossing is Animal Crossing memes and whatever people say on Twitter. So like this game just looks like capitalism simulator for me. Like people will be like, "Yo, my turnips are 94 bells right now," and I'm like, "I don't like, is that good?" And like people are like, "Yo," and I'm like, "I don't know what any of this means."
That's so funny the way you said it, like, is that good?
Yo, cause the thing is like someone will be like, "Yo, on my island, my turnips are 94 bells," and I'll be like, "Yo, what is that? Is bells money?" Bells are money, cool. Bells are money. I got it. So like, why does it matter that your turnips are 94? Like, can you help me? Is this what I sound like when I talk about League of Legends to people? Like when I start talking about like minion wave management and like freezing the wave?
Yeah.
Is this the same? Is this the same experience? Like, I don't know nothing. Like, all I know is that Tom Nook is like the worst landlord ever.
I would, in my opinion, people can see that he is a really bad landlord. He is literally not giving you any interest to pay off your house. You know, like it.
Your house? He gave you a tent. He didn't give you a house.
Yeah. Yeah, I live in a house now.
Yeah. You got a house now.
Yeah. And the thing is that he isn't giving me any interest fees for the.
So you're a Tom Nook supporter.
I like Tom Nook. He's actually really cute.
Who's your favorite villager?
Oh, that's an easy question. My favorite villager is Zucker. He's literally a walking takoyaki.
Wait, there's
takoyaki.
Hold up. Animal Crossing.
I love him so much. He's so cute.
My backspace is broken. Animal Crossing. Zucker. Yo, we're about to find this out. Yo, what? Yo, he's adorable.
He's so cute. Like I said, he's literally a walking takoyaki. So like he has a little toothpick sticking out of his head.
Aww.
Yeah, and like his freckles are the nori. And then of course his arms and legs are tentacles.
Yeah, and I'm looking at human Zucker now too. Yo, all right, I might be about this now. Yeah, I'll own a Switch though, so like I gotta get. I was gonna buy one. So like the timeout. The one like super bad thing about the pandemic is I have a friend that works at the Think Geek at my mall, and she like hid one of the Coral Switch lights for me, and I was gonna go in and get it, and I was gonna go see the My Hero Academia movie and get my Switch, and then like New York was like, yo, everything's closed at 5 p.m. And I'm like, yo, it's like 4 o'clock. What you mean everything's closed at 5? Because they were like, oh, we're closing like movie theaters and shit. And I was like, but I had plans today. I was gonna go to and have the. So now I don't have a Switch. So there's no Animal Crossing.
That's so crappy. I'm sorry.
But I was smart. As soon as that happened, I went with the digital option for Final Fantasy VII Remake because I didn't want no nonsense. I wanted to just have my game on the 10th because, like, you know, I know people who got Animal Crossing late because they decided to get a physical copy. So now the love of my life is Final Fantasy VII Remake. I'm I'm enjoying that game
Great. Yeah,
a lot.
everyone is super happy about Final Fantasy Remake, and I'm really glad that people are enjoying it. Honestly, I did play Final Fantasy 7, but I think I stopped midway because I was like, this game is way too. I regret that. I regret making that decision. Seriously, I know.
Why are we friends? Why are we? Yo, I need. Can I call? Yo, somebody in chat. Does somebody want to replace her as my guest tonight? Because I don't know.
Oh no.
I don't know if I can associate with a quitter.
I was a quitter back then, but I'm so down to play it again. Trust me.
So have you? So like when you're not playing fighting games and you're not playing Animal Crossing, like what's your game?
Monster Hunter or like.
I haven't. So I got a PS4 through work, and now that I make more money via Patreon than I ever did making content, I'm like, yo, maybe I should like start playing more video games. Cause like I'm one of those people that like when people are like, oh man, don't you work in gaming? I'm like, yeah, but like I play like 2 games. They're like, what do you?
I play like two games.
Yeah, I play League of Legends and I play Killing Floor 2, and that's like it.
Okay.
Oh, and Final Fantasy Tactics. I'm on my like 100th run of that game.
Nice.
It's like one of my favorite games from childhood, and now I'm learning how to speedrun it, which is really challenging.
Oh, yeah.
Well, so speedrunning Tactics is super hard. Is harder for me than it should be because I'm playing it on the PSP, and the PSP version is different than the version most people speedrun. So a lot of the cheats are not available to me. But I'm not gonna quit. I'm gonna learn how to speedrun the harder version of the game. But yeah, I play like 3 games. So whenever people like, yo, like whenever I see like my Twitter be like, oh man, I'm playing Apex, or oh man, Doom Eternal, I'm like, yo, I played a new video game once. It was back in 2014. And they're like, what do you mean the last new video game you played was like 2016? I'm like, I don't know.
I don't care. I guess I'm just not interested in video games right now, but let me be, damn.
Yeah, and then people will be like, but I thought you worked in gaming, and I'm like, and? Like,
right, exactly.
Just like people.
It's like you have an interest in video games, but it's like you don't play it as much. But you love talking to people who succeed in those games and that they enjoy playing the games. So it's like.
But yeah, you're making me. Maybe I should start playing Monster Hunter too, because I know so many people in the FGC play that shit. Like Jacqueline plays it, Justin's wife. She's always like, yo, when I'm not dealing with Harper, I'm playing Monster Hunter, and I'm like, damn, I should maybe play Monster Hunter. Or
I love it.
Apparently everybody plays Call of Duty also. Like I missed that train when I was a kid. My parents were like, that's too serious. That's got guns. And I was like, you let me punch people. Like you let me play Scorpion and I rip people's throats out. And they're like, wait, you do what? And I'm like, nothing. Nothing.
What?
Well, my parents would like have my brother put in like the change put it like on take out the maturity for like Mortal Kombat, and then I would wait for him to leave the room, and then I'd press pause and I would like turn it back to normal. And then like if I heard somebody coming down the steps into the basement, because that's where like our entertainment setup was, I'd be like pause and be like, oh man, I gotta put all the sudden backs. And then my mom would come downstairs and be like, what are you playing? I'm like, Mortal Kombat. She's like, there better not be any blood. And I'm like, no mom, Adam fixed all that. There's no, I have the blood-free edition. I swear. And then she would go back upstairs. I'd be like, nope. I don't know what you. Just like with like Dead or Alive, like my parents would like heard about like all the like titty jiggling, and they were like, none of that. And I'd be like, I don't know what. Yeah, so Dead or Alive, you can like set your age, and like whatever you set your age to is like how pervy the game is.
Oh, seriously? I didn't know that.
Yeah, so like the Dreamcast edition. I don't know if anybody here who's in the chat remembers this, but yeah. So like in Dead or Alive, like if you like set your age to like 36, like there's like mad titty jiggling. Yeah. So, because the idea is that, like, oh, if you set the age at, like, 12, then it's just, like, normal. Like, oh, the character has boobs, but they don't move. So I would just set my age to, like, 40.
Wow. That's actually really cool. I never knew that.
Yeah, that's some old person fighting game knowledge that's not useful in any aspect of life ever.
That's a cool fact, though. That's actually a cool fact.
So, alright, here's a question. Who's somebody in Street Fighter that you don't play, but you kind of wish you did?
Oh, I never really thought about this. I guess it's like, since I play Laura, like, I hate playing against Zangief players. It's just so bad where like, as much as I want to play them, I just can't play the matchup. It's so bad for Laura.
So
I hope that answers your question. Like,
so would you become a Zangief main? Like, would you, like, hit up Snake Eyes? Snake Eyes would be like, yo, Snake Eyes, teach me how to play the behemoth.
Oh, I would never play Zangief.
Wow.
I would probably break my wrist trying.
Wow. I think for me, if you had to, like, tell me, like, you got to pick a character that it's not your main, I would like to learn how to play G.
Yeah, G's really good.
Yeah, G.
Literally a walking 50-50.
Yeah, I love watching No Good Citizen play him. So, like, I would like to play my president. I would enjoy that. But that requires me to have, like, brain cells, so I'll just keep playing Abigail.
They're both really good, though. Abigail and G are good.
Yeah, Abigail doesn't require me to, like, think. That's, like, why I can't play Tekken. I think, like, Tekken makes me think too much, and then, like, the 3 brain cells I have, they get overworked, they get tired, they want to break.
Yep. Yeah, definitely. No, I totally understand. I feel like there are times where I have to turn on my brain when I play Laura, like, especially in the tournaments where, so I have, Ben, coaching me in the back.
Mm-hmm.
And he's always telling me, like, oh, like, you're doing this too much, you're doing that too much, slow it down. There's really no time limit. Like, play how you play and play patiently. And I'm like, all right, I could do this. That's where I had to turn on my brain, and I actually play super lame and super scared in a way, where I literally don't do command grabs with Laura whenever I have to slow down my pace. And of course, I will throw in some command grabs here and there, but I really wanted to focus, on spacing or foot speed, anything that will win me the match, really. So I know I've had those moments before. Let's say Red Bull Conquest. I played against Stack Bradford in my pool. Very good Akuma player from Chicago, I believe. I was so scared. Like, before I had to, like, go up to the setup and sit next to him to play, I was like, I already had those negative thoughts. I was like, I feel like I'm gonna lose this because Akuma's he's really good. So I was like, whatever, gotta play it out. Play it like my other matches. I'm still in the tournament. Like, if I lose this one, I'm still in. But of course, like, I should always root myself and get that W. And I how should I put this? So, like, the first match, I played how I usually play, and it was not good. So, like, he easily took the first round, and Ben was like, like, take it easy. Like, why are you rushing? There's no need to rush yourself. And, like, he was giving me words of encouragement. Okay, he's right. I really got to stop being, like, super unga bunga, and of course, on my brain, and everything went so perfectly for me, and I brought it back 2-1 in my favor, and I won the set against Jack Bradford. Great player. He's super fucking good, and I really hope I do play him in the future.
I'm glad that, like, there are people out there that know when to not unga bunga. I'm not one of them. I don't know. ever since I like started playing, so I mean, like a lot of people, I played like Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat as a kid. When I tore my ACL, I sat at home and played Soul Calibur on the Dreamcast a lot, and that became like my competing fighting game. But I always I've never really been a thinking player. No, it's funny because like I think about it now, and especially when I was like talking with like Joe, and when I was like talking to like Nokami, like about like how I play, and they're like in my it wasn't until I talked to other people or other people saw me play that they're like, you don't have a game plan, do you? And I'm like, I always thought I did. Like, to like I said, to my 3 brain cells, there's a game plan somewhere. But like the broader picture, there's no higher tier thought process behind it. I don't know. It's fun.
Hey, as long as you're playing to have fun, I think yeah, whether you have a game plan or not. Hey, sometimes like I mash like all the time. Like when I play Tekken, like when I play Tekken, I'm like, I don't even know the combo, so I'm just gonna.
Who are you playing Tekken?
Combos.
I picture you with any player.
So I play Dragunov. I love Dragunov. He's my.
That's like the opposite end of the spectrum from Laura.
Really?
I don't get hype watching Dragunov players. I'm like, fucking stupid.
I love him because the only reason why I play him is because he's handsome. I like him.
So wait, then why do you play Laura?
I like Laura because I feel like she is like me internally. I feel like I resonate with Laura so much. I really love her, and I love her design and her fighting style, jujutsu, and all that stuff. So she's a really spunky and cool character, including Poison too. Like I play Poison in Street Fighter 5 as well. I really like how they made Poison in Street Fighter 5. Super cool design. Of course, still a really like sexy and powerful woman. So cool. Love Poison.
And then you go to Tekken and you're like, ooh, that dude's handsome.
Yeah, he's handsome. I'm also trying to learn too.
Who?
Fakumram.
Oh, the new Muay Thai character.
Yeah.
Yo, he's
so cool.
I gravitate to Muay Thai characters in like all games. I don't know why. And then I realized that. And then I always end up switching off of them. But like aesthetically, when I see them, I'm like, yo, that's like Zack in is it Dead or Alive or Virtual Fire? Dead or Alive. Like Zack in Dead or Alive. Like every time I see anybody that's a Muay Thai character, I'm like, yo, that's the character I'm gonna play first. And then usually something happens where I'm like, I hit a brick wall, and I'm like, all right, this character's a little bit too difficult. Where's my small brain character at? And then I find my small brain character.
I could just turn off my brain and play.
Well, what's funny is that like in Tekken, I play like a fairly thinking oriented character. I mean, people could correct me, but I play Armor King.
Oh, okay.
And I don't think you can't like super Unga Munga Armor King. It's not really designed for that. I've always liked King, and when I found out that there was a Black King, I was like, yo, I'm gonna play Black King instead. I always play black characters. Like that's if there's a black character in a game, I'll play them like to start. So like Tekken, I played Eddie. There's a black Muay Thai character in Tekken. His name is escaping me right now. I played him. If there's no black character in a game, then it's like, all right, it's probably like either some mad brolic looking dude or a samurai. Because my weeb is showing hardcore. That's why I made
whatever you like though.
That's why I made Mitsurugi in Soul Calibur, because I'm a big ass weeb.
At least like that's fine. Like I had like this one guy. He was like, oh, do you play Chun-Li? Oh, you only play Laura because you're a girl. I'm like, I like her. What's wrong?
I mean, like, But the thing is, what's so funny to me when like people say shit like that, because like whenever I ask this question to people like that come on the show, like, oh, like what do you look for in a character? Everybody always says cool, right? Like what aesthetically is cool to them. Mm-hmm. You know, so like No Good Citizens is like, yo, I thought Guile was cool, so I played Guile. Right, like, right, you pick who you think looks cool. Nobody like comes into a like you hold the controller for the first time and you're like, ah, yes, Laura. Karen is top tier, so I must pick Karen, right? Like nobody, like no information, like grabs a controller and like a jolt is sent to their brain, and they're like, "This is the tier graph, and like these are the characters I should probably play." No, you go on the character select screen and you're like, "Yo, Ivy, she got some big old titties, and her sword's a whip. Yo, I'm about this. Let me try this shit out, right? Like you don't know move set or nothing. You just like, she got some big ass titties, right? Like That's all you know when you're in character select screen. You don't know nothing else. Maybe it says like what they're like. If it's like Street Fighter, it might be like what their fighting style is. But like, you don't know what like some of these characters got some made up fighting styles. So like you don't even know that shit. You're just like Rashid. What does that fucking say? How does it look like a real fighting style? Yo, but he's got a turban. Oh, he's got a soccer costume. We about it now. We about it.
Yeah, and you know, like I said, it's just like the quirkiness, or like, I guess like the unique play style or how the character looks really kind of strikes the attention of the person. Like, oh, I don't know what to say. Oh, that character looks really cool. I want to try them out. You know, and I guess that's how I started playing Orange Street Fighter 5, or how I picked out Dragunov. Actually, another thing of why I really wanted to play Dragunov is because I would always watch JDCR play him. He's so cool, so good.
Yeah, I mean, I can't talk too much shit about JDCR because he's a cool dude. But he also plays Armored King.
Yeah, and he plays Heihachi.
Yeah. I could never get into the Heihachi. Like, whenever I look at the character and I saw, like, the two, like, sticking up hair pieces, looking like some Don King mofo, I was just like...
Party hats?
Yeah, like, the thing is, like, that's another thing. Like, there could be, like, a high-tier character, but if they look hella goofy or something... Like, I'm sorry, Anakin, Jack looks booty. I don't know why you played that character. He looks terrible to me. Like, a character could be, like, like, S tier, or, like, if you're picking, like, Bob. Bob is Street Fighter's Tekken 6. Like, everyone's like, oh, Bob's such a good character. No. I was like, I'm not playing this dude.
Too ugly.
Yes! I'm weird. I'm like, nah, I don't care how high tier this character is. He looks terrible. Kindred, stop chewing my stuff. Goodbye, cat. Go somewhere. She's like on the table, like chewing my magic cards for some reason. I don't know why she's being like this. It's whatever. You're not getting a treat today.
Magic.
Yo, I need to find it. I have an adorable picture of her on the table for paws on top of the table, like standing up. And so me and my roommate, we put cards in front of her, and we took a picture of her like playing Magic against us. It's really adorable.
That is adorable. Yeah.
It's the benefit of having, you know, a pet that's like tall enough to sit in a chair. It's great.
And, you know, like you said before, where it's like a pet that you can also interact with too, which is really nice. Like when, of course, back to the pet conversation. They would just try to run. So I would use my hand as like a human treadmill.
That sounds so cute, though. That sounds super cute.
It was kind of a workout too, because I did this for like a good hour or so, you know, watching whatever. I love my hamsters. They're so cute.
So, you know, before we wrap this up, I heard that you read manga, which means that you probably watch anime. What anime are you watching right now?
So, Fruits Basket Season 2 recently came out, and I'm super stoked to watch that because I read the manga to the end, and I'm super glad that they're sticking with the manga. Because the first anime adaptation for Fruits Basket, the chapters or episodes were like everywhere. So it was kind of hard to follow, kind of hard to decipher what the situation in the manga really is. Now that they're going by the manga for this adaptation, I'm super stoked. I've also been watching Haikyuu. Haikyuu is super good. Here's the thing though. I know that it's overrated, and that no. I'm not saying it's a bad thing though. You okay?
So I have like an armrest that's adjustable in height, but it's like broken. Thank you, Matt, Mr. Mage Baller, who's in the chat, my former roommate. So if I put like any real weight on it, it'll sometimes like de-lock.
Oh no.
So, chat, I'm alive. It's okay.
So like, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. The reason why like it's overrated in a way is because it's that fucking good.
Mm-hmm.
I love Haikyuu. It's incredible. I don't take back what I say about it being overrated. Like, I want people to watch Haikyuu. I want people to read Haikyuu. It's actually very enjoyable. The animation's great. The storyline is great too.
Are you caught up in the manga?
I'm reading it right now. I think I'm on chapter like 260. But
Okay. I won't spoil anything.
Okay. Because like I know a bunch of my community members are up to date with Haikyuu.
Wait, is he still in high school? Is Hinata still in high school where you are?
Yeah, he's still in high school.
Okay, so you are very behind me. Okay.
I'm very behind. I know I'm very behind. But I have been reading other like One Piece. Yo, watch or read One Piece.
No, I got a life. All right, I got a life, and
I know that the chapters, like, it's almost hitting to like 100 or like 1,000 chapters, and I know it seems a little discouraging because you're like, oh, I'm gonna be so behind and whatnot. Just take your time, like, let's say that if you're on a break or at an appointment and you're waiting for your read like a chapter at a time. There's no rush. We're gonna be there. I love One Piece.
I'm a sports fanatic. Every time there's a new sports anime, I get so hyped. Like, I'm watching the basketball anime that's current right now.
I know.
Iru no Sora or something. Like, that's so good. It's so good. That's why I wasn't sold on the Haikyuu train, because I'm like, yo, there's a volleyball anime. Let's go. And I was like, all right, this show's pretty dope. It's good.
Good. Yeah.
I especially prefer.
Makes you want to read the manga immediately after you're like watching everything anime for it. Yeah.
I especially like sports anime that don't have superpowers.
Sure.
So like, even though
it's more realistic.
Yeah. So like, even though Kuroko no Basket's hype and all, like, I don't need people disappearing on the court or hitting passes that look like they're moving like 6,000 miles an hour.
Like they're teleporting.
Yeah. Whereas like Haikyuu, I mean, like, Hinata's like a little OD athletic, but like I'll let it go. Like, it's okay. But I perform my sports. I also like when my teams lose. So that's why if y'all are looking for a good sports anime to watch and manga, you should look up Giant Killing. It's about a soccer team, and they lose a lot, and I'm about that because I think it takes tension away when, like, I hate like the sports anime trope, which is like, oh, they lose like their first couple of matches because they're still figuring out how to be a team and yada yada yada, and then they're like unstoppable until they need to lose again to like have a character building moment, and you can always tell when they're gonna lose. Like, I'm not about that. If you have a team lose all the time,
it's so important.
Well, yeah, no. The character development part, I'm all about. It's the like, it's like the part. It's like where Haikyuu is now, where like you're pretty sure they're going to win most of the matches in the anime. Like where they are now, right? There's some, even though like you're like, oh well, like how close is the game going to be? You know that they're going to win because like there's another season and there's third years on the team, right? Like, I don't know, it takes the tension out. So the thing that I liked about Giant Killing is that, one, it's a professional soccer team. So there's no like, oh, well, if we lose this tournament or something, the third years graduate, and no. And because they lose so much, you're wondering if this is finally going to be the game they win. And I kind of like that tension more.
Oh, yeah. I know what you mean. Yeah, because it's like you're rooting for them since they're the main antagonist.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, I really want to win. But no, that's definitely understandable.
What's your favorite anime of all time? You can only pick one. Is it One Piece?
Anime of all time would have to be Space Jam.
Wow, that's an interesting pick. I did not see that coming.
Space anime.
Wow, that's like, yo, I'm so used to people saying something like, like Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood or something.
Yeah.
So the fact that you pulled out Space Dandy, that's refreshing. That feels that's when you know it's like real weeb hours when your favorite anime is not like one of the big ones.
Yeah. Like I really like it because of how quirky it is. Like I was thinking about it, and it would have to be either Space Dandy or Mob Psycho. But Mob Psycho was of it. But for Space Dandy, I think it's the best anime for me. I just like how random it is. It's
very you.
The visuals are great.
It's a very you it's definitely very you.
Yeah, it's a really great anime. If you've never watched before, definitely take the time to watch it. Like watch the first episode. If you like it, definitely keep watching. If you don't worry. There's more anime out there to cater for what you like. So, and also I also want to say that I'm caught up in Boku no Hero in the manga. And caught up
I just realized that that now that I'm at my set and not my desk anymore, that I can't show you my best boy.
Who is your best boy?
Yo, it's Dark Shadow. It's Tokiyami. He's so good.
Yeah, he's so cool. I love him.
I'm not gonna spoil anything for you non-manga readers, but like my boy,
I won't spoil anything.
He's a hardcore background character in the anime, and that's fine. But like, he gets his comeuppance. He gets his But I will say, it was like him and Red Riot. They were like competing for best boy status for me, and then he had to be like naming all of his special moves, some like hella high school emo kid shit, and I was like, yo, he's me. I was totally the like super edgy emo kid in class that had to let everybody know how edgy and emo I am. And that's when that's when that was sold for me. I was like, all right, I got it. He's best boy now. He's 100% best boy. Who is your best boy or best girl and Boko? You gotta pick among your kids. You can't. Nope. You gotta pick among your kids.
Does it have to be like the kids? Like it can't be like any of.
All right. We'll do like two. You can have like a kid and an adult.
Okay, so the adult, I really like Shinya Kamihara. He's the ninja.
Then he can like turn himself like paper thin and shit. Yeah.
Yeah, he's so cool. I love his style.
I love that you pick like a mad background-ish character too.
Well, sure, he's a background character, but I really like it.
No, it's fine. It's just funny because like I said, people are like, oh, Eraserhead or Miyako right now. She's like everybody's hypeness.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Mirako's a good character too. I like her, but I like Mihara the most. But for UA students, I would probably have to say I really like Red Riot. He's definitely my favorite.
Oh man, when that Unbreakable scene happened, my heart. Hearing his backstory that he used to be the wackest dude in school with a terrible quirk.
He's really strong. He's definitely up there.
Yo, when they finally gave us his backstory, I was like, yo, I'm rooting for you. Rooting for you.
And also, I'm also caught up in Demon Slayer.
I'm not on the Demon Slayer hype train.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah. That's totally fine. I also got done reading like other mangas like Food Wars, especially. Food Wars
disappointed me so much.
No, trust me. Me too.
Oh man, I got so mad about. I was like, I was so into season 1. I was like, yo, I'm gonna start reading this manga. This shit's hype. And I was like getting there, and then I got to where I feel the series took a complete nosedive.
Sure.
I don't know where the anime is now because I got so mad at that property that I stopped watching the anime, even though I knew the anime wasn't caught up to the manga. I was like, nope, I gotta cut the umbilical cord. I just gotta separate myself as hard as I can because I'm so disappointed.
Yeah. No, like it's definitely a disappointment, but if people enjoy it, like I'm glad that they are.
Oh yeah, no.
That,
Personally, for me,
it's. I definitely hope that they see like why a lot of people didn't like the season that's coming out right now.
Oh, is that where they are in the anime now?
I think so. I don't want to spoil it too much.
Yeah.
But like just after a certain arc, it gets really bad. I'll just say it from there.
Fair. Hey, chat, since you guys are here and we're going to wrap up the show soon, does anybody have any questions for her before we dip? You can talk about anime. You can talk about fighting games. You can talk about League of Legends in Season 3. Anything.
You can ask me, like, any trivia questions.
any trivia questions, you know. If there's no questions, chat, that's also cool. No pressure. I just always try to open up the chat to asking questions before we sign off. Because, yeah, it's hard now because my set doesn't have a second monitor yet because I'm still building my set.
Oh, sure.
So, yeah, so, like, there's a Twitter video of it, but, like, so my office is in my dining room. So, like, over here off camera is like my desk. It's got, you know, my desktop computer and everything. I have a mini fridge in my office. So, you know, I can be like, yo, product placement. Oh no, I can't product placement because there's no more Red Bull in my fridge.
It's got like the drinks and snacks in place.
But you know, the great Red Bull Summer Edition watermelon flavor, so clean, so good.
Never
So
had
good.
that before.
It just came out. It's so good. You know, I got a fully stocked mini fridge. You know, I've got all my Red Bull Conquest memorabilia over here. All my press badges are over here. But this was never meant to be. So like, this used to be where I would like go on like online shows. Like if people were like, "Oh, we want you to come on," I used to have like a backdrop and stuff. But now that I have 2 computers finally, this is now like where all the shows will be recorded and stuff. So I have to get like a monitor so I can interact with chat. Yeah, you know, one of the benefits of like, I'll say this because I didn't get to say this when I was like talking to James Chen about COVID. One of the benefits of COVID is I think it's made people appreciate content creators more. So like before COVID, my Patreon was only at like $400 something, and I don't say only like, oh man, that sucks, like screw everybody. No, I mean like that's how much it was. Post COVID, when people found out that like I'd lost some contracts and I like didn't have as much work, I went from $520 to $1,060.
Oh, that's awesome.
So not only can I like afford my bills, I also can like make upgrades so I can do more stuff, so I don't have to work for websites anymore. I can just make content full time, but that means it's slow going because shit's expensive, and even with Amazon Prime, shit takes like a month to come now, which is fine.
Yeah, it definitely is taking their time to like come in because I usually order like beauty products, especially like body wash. That's like coming in.
Yo, favorite body wash?
Wednesday. Oh my god. My favorite body wash? It would have to be Rose Garcia body wash. That's I think it's made by Krasi, a Japanese brand.
I thought you were gonna say something like Axe Phoenix, and I was gonna be like, ooh.
That's not me.
No Axe body wash?
No.
Yeah, I there's a part of me that wants to cancel my Prime right now.
Wants to what?
To cancel my Prime because of the delays.
Okay.
Yeah, because
Yeah, Yeah.
Because it feels weird paying $20 for next day shipping to not have next day shipping. It's kind of awkward. But I guess since there's no questions in the chat, where can everybody at home find you on the internet?
You can find me on Twitter at BaiTelephone, which is BAI telephone, and on Instagram, same username. Then on Twitch, you can find me at submahreen, so SUBMAHREEN.
So the reason I made that face is I didn't realize that that's how you pronounce your Twitter at.
Yeah, BaiTelephone, because my middle name is BaiPhone.
Oh.
Yeah, I guess that's the lore behind that. And plus, like, I'm sure like some old Twitter account has the @mahreen. So I'm like, that's fine. I'll just do BaiTelephone instead.
No, it's fine. It's just that I don't know what I thought it was pronounced, but because I don't know. Now that I hear it out loud, I'm like, of course that's how it's pronounced. But before I was like, I don't know what that Bitaphone? But alright, I'm just gonna give up. I'm just gonna give up. So now that I know, I'm like, man, I'm dumb.
No, it's okay.
No. That's not like self-deprecating dumb. It's just like one of those things where it's like you like psych yourself into thinking it's like way complicated, and then when you find out it's like the easiest thing, where like if you would just like took a step back. It's one of those moments. And so yep, that's where you can find Mahreen everywhere on the internet. Y'all know how to find me. If you don't, let's use the handy dandy single player screen. That's all my stuff. YouTube, Twitter, Patreon, Instagram. I don't really use Instagram. I'm not cool like that. But I have it anyway. Every now and then I get like new Instagram followers because of the show. And then I'm like, ooh, I haven't posted something since Red Bull Conquest Orlando. Whoops.
Oh, yeah. That's so
bad. But thanks for being on the show.
Thank you so much for having me. I had so much fun. And seriously, yeah, guys, check Amanda's channel because I know she'll definitely be doing more podcasts in the future.
Yeah. Next week is Ultra David.
Ooh, that'll be fun.
Oh man, I'm so excited to talk old man fighting games with Ultra David because that's always the best. And then after Ultra David, it is Tempest Rob. So yeah, it's good. And then I haven't planned out May at all. And I guess I'll tell you guys this ahead of time. This was gonna be a post on Twitter. I won't be doing the neutral all of June, because I have to get some dental surgery done, where they gotta take out some teeth, and then I'm getting dentures in the front of my mouth, and that means that apparently it's gonna take like 2 to 3 weeks to recover from having my teeth removed, and I'm hella vain, and I don't want to have to do a show where I'm missing teeth. So all of June will be a bunch of pre-recorded content, maybe. So I know that's a month and a half off, but I figured I'd give you guys the heads up, just so you know that all of June there won't be any live episodes of The Neutral. But until next time, y'all know how I do. Go beyond, plus ultra. Peace. Where's the end button? There it is.